The House You Build for Yourself, a story of effort, regret, and awakening. In a peaceful kingdom known for its artistry in wood and stone, there lived an old carpenter named Rowan. For decades, he had shaped homes and dreams from cedar and oak, building not only the king's palaces, but also the simple homes of villagers. His hands were rough like bark, yet moved with grace. His eye for detail was unmatched. People would say, if Rowan built it, it will last longer than memory. But time, like wood, weathers all things. Rowan had grown tired. His back ached in the mornings. The weight of tools felt heavier than before. More than anything, he longed to sit under the banyan tree behind his cottage, drink tea with his wife, and watch his grandchildren run through the fields. He had served long and faithfully. Now, he desired only peace. One spring morning, he visited the king. The palace was bright with jasmine and the murmur of fountains. The king, wise and gentle, a man who respected not only power, but also craftsmanship, welcomed Rowan like an old friend.
"Your Majesty," Rowan said, bowing low, "I have served you with all my heart and skill for many years. But now I wish to lay down my tools and rest. I ask your blessing to retire." The king's face softened. "You have built half this kingdom, Rowan. Your hands have shaped not just houses but lives. You deserve your rest." He paused, then added, "But I have one last request." Rowan straightened, surprised. "I would like you to build one final house," the king said. "Not grand, not for royalty, just a simple wooden home, but one that holds the spirit of everything you've learned. Let it be your last gift to the kingdom, your final masterpiece." Rowan hesitated. His heart had already left the craft. But how could he refuse the king, who had always honored him? "As you wish, your Majesty," he said. The next day, Rowan received the plans. The design was simple. 3 rooms, a veranda, a garden. But something inside him had shifted. His hands moved, but his heart was not in them. "This is just one last task," he thought. "No need to put in the same effort. I need rest. This one can be good enough." Instead of his usual choice of seasoned hardwood, he settled for cheaper timber. Where once he would spend days perfecting each joint, now he allowed gaps, trusting that paint would hide them. He used nails instead of wooden pegs, skipped polish, ignored symmetry. Month by month, the house rose. From the outside, it looked pleasant. No one could tell the corners weren't square or that the beams were weak. Rowan felt relief more than pride. "Soon it will be over," he told himself. Finally, the house was done. He sent word to the palace. The king arrived with his advisors and courtiers. Rowan stood by the gate, tired and distant, ready to hand over the key and step away from his life's work. The king walked through the garden, touched the wooden door, looked at the beams, the carvings. He said nothing. Then he turned to Rowan, smiling. "You have done well, my old friend," he said. "This house is not for me." Rowan looked up, puzzled. "It is for you," the king continued. "A gift for your years of service. May you and your family live here in peace. This home, your final work, will be yours." The world stood still. Rowan did not speak. His mouth opened slightly, but no sound came. His heart pounded, not with joy, but with a sharp, sickening weight. The house he had built carelessly was now his. All the shortcuts he had taken, all the corners he had cut, the cheap wood, the poor finish, the fragile roof, this was the house his wife would sleep in, where his grandchildren would play, where he would spend the rest of his days. Suddenly, the cracks he ignored were no longer just flaws. They were reflections of a deeper mistake. He held the key in trembling hands, and in that moment, shame filled him like smoke in a hollow room. "If only I had known," he thought.
If only I had treated this as if it mattered. The king noticed the shift in his eyes. He placed a hand gently on Rowan's shoulder. "We build many things in life," he said softly. "But every work we do, every task, small or great, is a house we build for ourselves." Then he turned and walked away. Rowan stood in the fading light, the key cold in his hand. Tears welled up, not from sorrow alone, but from a sudden, fierce clarity. He had thought he was building for someone else. He had thought it didn't matter. But in the end, what we offer to the world returns to us. That night, Rowan did not sleep. He walked through the rooms of his new home, touching every wall, tracing every mistake. The floor creaked beneath his feet. The beams moaned softly in the wind. His heart ached, not because of the flaws, but because of what they revealed. He had let fatigue rob him of integrity. He had believed effort was something we offer only when it is seen, when it is rewarded. But he understood now. The unseen effort is the most sacred. The next morning, Rowan rose early. For the first time in months, he picked up his tools, not because he had to, but because he must. He spent the next few months repairing what he had rushed, replacing weak beams, recutting frames, refinishing surfaces. He worked slowly, with devotion. His hands hurt, but his heart healed. His grandchildren helped him paint. His wife chose flowers for the garden. And when the house was finally whole, strong, beautiful, honest, it felt like a part of him had been restored. Visitors would come and admire it, calling it Rowan's most soulful creation. But he knew the truth. It wasn't just a house. It was a reflection. We often live our days as if they don't matter, rushing, cutting corners, doing just enough. We believe we're building for others, for a job, a boss, a stranger. But every choice we make, every effort we give, or withhold, becomes the structure we must live in. We are always building. Whether it is a conversation, a project, a relationship, or a simple task, each one is a plank, a nail, a window. Done with presence and care, it shelters us. Done in haste, it leaves us cold. The story of Rowan is not about carpentry. It is about consciousness. Because in the end, the house you build is always your own.